Good morning, students. How are you? Myself Deepali Harchande. Today we are going to start with the political science session. After Diwali vacation, again we are going to resume the online classes. So today I am going to start with the exercise part of lesson number 5. Before Diwali vacation, I have uploaded 6 parts of this lesson. If you want to revise it, go to the YouTube channel and search it, my six video lectures of lesson number 5 on YouTube. My channel name is Education is Strength. On that channel you will get all the lessons, means till 5 lessons I have uploaded all the videos. As I told you that altogether 6 parts I have uploaded of lesson number 5. Only the exercise part, question and answers part was remaining. So today I am going to continue with the exercise part. How was your Diwali, students? In this pandemic situation, till yet the government has not taken a final decision whether to start offline colleges or not. So we are continue with the online lectures. Fine. We'll start with this exercise. Choose the correct option. I'm going to read the first one. The concept of Lokpal is taken from, I'm repeating, the concept of Lokpal is taken from, the answer is Sweden. The answer is Sweden. Okay, next. The concept of citizens charter is part of, I'm repeating, the concept of citizen charter is part of good governance. The whole lesson is about good governance. So the answer is good governance. Next is state the appropriate concept of given concept. Question is person investigating complaints against government officials. I am repeating, person investigating complaints against government officials. The answer is Lokayukta. The answer is Lokayukta. See, we have seen that part that if we want to complain of officials, if we want to complain against the person who is working in the offices of government. So if I want to launch a complaint, if I want to file a complaint against a person who is working in the government offices, so to whom we can approach? In that case, we have to approach to the Lokayukta. Fine. Next is complete the concept map. Values of good governance. Now I am going to tell you the answer. You just write it down one by one. Very first is, here they have given one answer, that accountable. What are the values of good governance? So second is participatory. Participatory. Write it down here. Participatory. I am going to repeat the spelling. Participatory. Participatory. Second, they have given here accountable. Now third, here first we have written participatory, second accountability they have already given. Now third one, write it down, rule of law. Rule of law. The answer is rule of law. Now next is fourth Fourth is transparency. Transparency spelling TRANSPARENCY. TRANSPRENCY. Transparency. Now fifth one, responsiveness. 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 Now write it down. Sixth one, consensus oriented. Consensus oriented. Spelling is CONSENSUS. Consensus oriented. ORENTED. Okay, now seventh is equity and inclusiveness. Equity and inclusiveness. EQUITY. And inclusiveness. INCLUSIVENES. Inclusiveness. Now last one, eighth one is effectiveness and efficiency. Effectiveness and efficiency. So in this way we have completed the concept map. See here students, you will get this answer on page number 49, that values of good governance. Here you will get answer. Accountable, consensus oriented, transparent, responsiveness, equitable and inclusive, effective and efficient, follows the rule of law, participatory. This is the answer, page number 49. Okay, now we'll move towards the next. State whether the following statements are true or false with reason. Now I am going to read first one. Lokayukta can investigate complaints against political executives. See, if you remember that earlier I told you that a person who is working in government offices, so we can approach to Lokayukta for the complaint against that person. So here Lokayukta can investigate. Who will investigate that complaints? Obviously the Lokayukta. अगर हमें कोई जो ऑफिसर्स है, जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी में से है और पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड से है और वो गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स में काम कर रहे हैं, अगर हमें उनके खिलाफ़ अगर कुछ कंप्लेंट दर्ज करनी है तो हम लोकायुक्त के पास डायरेक्टली जा सकते हैं और उसको इन्वेस्टिगेट करने का एक राइट किसको दिया गया है? लोकायुक्त को दिया गया है. तो वो क्या करता है? वो सारे जो केसेस है, कंप्लेंट्स है, उसको इन्वेस्टिगेट करता है. सो हियर द आंसर इज ट्रू. दिस इज ट्रू वन. If you want to write the explanation, we have to go to the page number 52. On that page, we'll get the answer. Just a minute. See here, Lokpal and Lokayukta. See. Now we'll see why that statement is true. Here they have mentioned the Lokpal and Lokayukta Act 2013 came into force in 2014. The act provides for establishment of a body of Lokpal for the union and Lokayukta for state. This office would inquire. See, investigate means what? To inquire into allegation of corruption. अगर हमने उनके खिलाफ़ अगर कुछ कंप्लेंट दर्ज की है, करप्शन की है और वो कुछ कामकाज अच्छी तरह से नहीं कर रहे, उनका फंक्शंस अच्छी तरह से नहीं हो रहा है, तो उसके इंक्वायरी करने का जो राइट दिया गया है वो किसको दिया गया है? लोकपाल और लोकायुक्त. जैसे हमने देखा है कि स्टेट में लोकायुक्त है, तो जो लोकायुक्त है उनको ये इन्वेस्टिगेट करने का राइट है. सो द स्टेटमेंट इज़ ट्रू. सो व्हाट यू नीड टू राइट इन दैट? in the explanation part, you have to write from the Lokpal and Lokayukta till public functionaries. Means how you are going to write? First you have to write the question, then after that write the answer. In that first the answer is true, and below that line we have to write the explanation also why the statement is true. So you have to write this 4 or 5 lines. Fine. You will get that lines on page number 52. Okay. Now we'll move towards our next question. Next statement. Okay, next is good governance aims to efficient use of natural resources. Yes, this statement is true. Good governance aims at efficient use of natural resources. Good governance का एम क्या है, ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है कि हमें क्या करना चाहिए, जो कुछ नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस है उससे हमें एफिशिएंटली यूज़ करना है. मतलब जितना हम उसको सेव कर सकते हैं, प्रिजर्व कर सकते हैं, उतना तो करना ही है. और जो कुछ नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस हमें लगते हैं उसका एफिशिएंटली यूज़ करना है. तो ये हमें आंसर मिलेगा पेज नंबर 50 पे. द आंसर इज़ ट्रू. राइट इट डाउन. द आंसर इज़ ट्रू. नाउ गो टू द पेज नंबर 50. Now see here, on the page number 50 you will get the answer. Good governance means that process and institutions produce results that meet the needs of society while making the best use of resources at their disposal. The concept of efficiency in the context of good governance also covers the sustainable use of natural resources and the protection of the environment. This explanation you need to write. We are expected to write this explanation because the answer is true. Fine. On the page number 50, go to the page number 50, effectiveness and efficiency, and you write the whole paragraph for the explanation. Fine. Now we'll move towards the next question. Okay, next question is explain correlation between the following, which is good governance and e-governance. Now I'm going to dictate the answer. You also write with me. We'll go to the good governance first. See, we have already learned the values of good governance. Fine. So we have to pick up, or we have to take out few things from good governance and e-governance. Now good governance is an actual process, or we can say which is actually structure of running the government administration system. Means what? There are various offices, there is a structure, there is a infrastructure for the good governance. गुड गवर्नेंस ये क्या है? हमारे पास स्ट्रक्चर है, हमारे पास पूरे जो हम गवर्नेंस मतलब जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन रन करते हैं उसका जो स्ट्रक्चर है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, वो सब इसमें आता है. फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज़, मैन फैसिलिटी मीन्स ह्यूमन फैसिलिटीज़, ये आता है गुड गवर्नेंस में. और यहाँ पे सब जो कामकाज है वो कागज़ पे होते हैं, तो उसको वो गुड गवर्नेंस के अंडर आता है. और ई गवर्नेंस क्या है? उसके आगे की स्टेप है. हमें गुड गवर्नेंस अगर अच्छी तरह से रन करना है तो हमें क्या करना है? हमें ई गवर्नेंस का इस्तेमाल करना है. ई मीन्स व्हाट? इलेक्ट्रॉनिक. तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मशीन्स टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ करके हम क्या करने वाले हैं? ये जो गवर्नेंस का स्ट्रक्चर है उसको हम अच्छी तरह से रन करने वाले. सो यू ऑल्सो राइट विथ मी. आई एम गोइंग टू डिक्टेट द आंसर. No need to make two columns. Fine. Here we have to write the correlation. We are not going to write the distinguish between. Correlation मतलब क्या है? इन दोनों में क्या रिलेशन है, तो वो हम लिखेंगे. Now you start writing. I am going to dictate it. Good governance means the process and institution Good governance means that processes and institutions produce results produce results that meet the needs of society, that meet meet the needs of society, full stop. Now write it down. Second point, this is the first point. Second, e-governance in India. सी, ये जो हमने पहला पॉइंट लिखा है ना, वो यहाँ से लिखा है. गुड गवर्नेंस मीन्स, हाँ, यहाँ तक सोसाइटी. ये हमारा फर्स्ट पॉइंट है. अब हम ई गवर्नेंस के बारे में लिखेंगे. अभी ई गवर्नेंस आगे है. ई गवर्नेंस में लिखेंगे e-governance in India has evolved evolved from computerization of government departments, government departments to such initiatives initiatives in governance, comma, such as citizen centric, comma, service orientation and transparency. See, you will find the spellings also from these two paragraphs. Okay, next point, third point, where we are going to write about good governance. Governance had become more complex. And varied, varied in the last few decades. But e-governance improved the delivery of public service. Services and simplified the process of accessing them. Fine. So you will get these points from here. Process of accessing them, service simplified. Then a second point, first point I told you that, second, evolved from computerization of government. Here you will get answer, but the answer should be modified, and that is why I have dictated it. Again, now the last point, fourth point, revolution in information. See here, revolution in information and communications technology, that is ICT, helped state and central ministries state and central ministries to elevate governance process to new level. Governance process to new levels. You can write from here also, these 3 lines also you can write, these 3 or 4 lines. Just I have modified the answer and I have presented here. Fine. Now we'll move towards the next question. Express your opinion. Question number 4. Express your opinion. We are going to deal with this now. Next is express your opinion. E-governance speed up governmental processes. Now for that answer we need to go to the page number 54 where we'll get the answer. Page number 54. See here, e-governance. Now we are going to write the answer in points. Okay, so let's start with the point wise answer. Here, first point, revolution in information and communication. See here, revolution in information and communication technology, ICT, has the potential of evaluating the governance process of new levels. This is your first point. Now second point, that is the reason why countries around the world are increasingly opting for e-governance. Governance has become more complex and varied in the last few decades. This is your second point, first and second. Now we'll move towards the third point. See, this is the third point, citizens. From citizens, just a minute. Citizens, this is the third point. From citizens till the governmental processes. ये हुआ third point. Now fourth point. Just it also till demographical. This is the fourth point. Okay, now point wise we are going to write the answer. Did you get it? First point, second point, again I am going to repeat. From revolution till levels, first point, that is यहाँ से लेके डिकेड्स तक आपका सेकेंड पॉइंट आएगा. सिटीजन्स से लेकर प्रोसेसेस तक आपका ये थर्ड पॉइंट आएगा. और उसके बाद इट अल्सो से डेमोग्राफिकली, ये आपका फोर्थ पॉइंट आएगा. आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड द आंसर. नाउ विल मूव टूवर्ड्स द नेक्स्ट question. See, e-governance brought administration closer to people. I am repeating, e-governance brought administration closer to people. Again, we'll get the answer on page number 54. On the same page, we'll get the answer. See here. We are going to write the answer. ये हमें आंसर किस में लिखना है? पॉइंट्स में लिखना है. लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द पॉइंट्स. ये देखो, यहाँ से फर्स्ट पॉइंट मैं अभी दिखा रही हूँ. दिस इज़ द फर्स्ट पॉइंट. द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ द नेशनल ई गवर्नेंस प्लान ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज़ ब्रिंग पब्लिक सर्विसेज क्लोजर होम टू सिटीजन. ये आपका फर्स्ट पॉइंट हुआ. अभी सेकेंड पॉइंट कहाँ से? दिस इज़ टू बी अचीव्ड टिल ओवर द इंटरनेट. ये आपका हुआ सेकेंड पॉइंट. और लास्ट जो है टुडे से लेके पीपल तक, ये आपका हुआ थर्ड पॉइंट. सो फर्स्ट पॉइंट, द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ द नेशनल टिल टू द सिटीजन्स. Second point, this is to be achieved till internet. Third point, today application for birth certificate till people. ये आपका थर्ड पॉइंट है. फाइन. आई होप you understood this. Now question number 5. Answer the following. Explain various institutions protecting rights of different sections in India. For this purpose we have to go to the page number 56 and 57. I am repeating the question. Explain various institutions protecting rights of different sections in India. पेज नंबर 56 से ये आंसर स्टार्ट होता है. सी स्पेशल इंस्टीट्यूशनल मैकेनिज़म्स. हमें ये पूरा आंसर यहाँ से स्टार्ट करना है. वी हैव टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द स्पेशल इंस्टीट्यूशन मैकेनिज़्म. ये पूरा लिखना है. द नेशनल कमीशन फॉर शेड्यूल कास्ट. ये क्वेश्चन क्या है कि हमें ये जो सारे शेड्यूल कास्ट है, शेड्यूल ट्राइब्स है, देन नेशनल ह्यूमन राइट्स है, ये सारे हमें प्रोटेक्ट करने हैं. तो ये प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए हमारे पास कौन कौन से मैकेनिज़म्स है, कौन कौन से अलग अलग हमारे पास स्ट्रक्चर्स है, और हम कह सकते हैं कि प्रोविजंस है जिसे हम ये सब प्रोटेक्ट कर सकते. तो पेज नंबर 56 में स्पेशल इंस्टीट्यूशनल मैकेनिज़्म में फर्स्ट, सेकेंड, थर्ड, फोर्थ, फिफ्थ टिल 6, 7, 8 ये हमें पूरा लिखना है. सी लेट मी शो यू टिल वेयर. टिल डिस्प्यूट रिड्रेसल मैकेनिज़्म मतलब 56 में स्टार्ट करना है, और ये पेज नंबर जो 57 है ये पूरा टिल 8th पॉइंट तक हमें ये सारा लिखना है. फर्स्ट टू 8th point. I am going to show it again. Special institutional mechanism from here till 8th point. National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. Redressal means to make changes, और क्या कह सकते हैं हम, जिसमें हम दुरुस्ती करते हैं उसको कहते हैं redressal. तो ये पूरा आपको लिखना है. Now we are going to deal with the last question, question number 6. Answer the following question in detail with the help of given points. Question क्या है? Explain in detail the following values of good governance. The answer you will get as it is from the textbook. Values का हमने अभी चार्ट भी देखा है, तो वो चार्ट के नीचे ही हमें ये आंसर मिलेगा. Let's go to the answer. वैल्यूज़ के चार्ट के नीचे हमें ये आंसर मिलेगा. सी गुड गवर्नेंस. अभी इसमें से हमें सारा नहीं लिखना है. मीन्स वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू राइट द होल वैल्यूज़. व्हाट दे हैव बीन गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन: पार्टिसिपेशन, ट्रांसपेरेंसी, responsiveness and accountability. See, that point only we are going to write. See, participatory means participation, then transparent means transparency, responsiveness, and last is accountability. So these 4 points, these 4 values we are going to mention. So let's start where the answer is. See, participatory. Now you have to write first point, that is participatory. From this you have to start. It is one of the most essential aspect till implementation, making and its implementation. This is your first point of participation. Don't write participatory. They have been given participation, so we'll write participation. Now next is transparency, I guess. Just a minute, let me check. Second point they have been asked, transparency. So this is the second part of transparency. You have to write the whole paragraph. The culture of secrecy has been challenged till functioning of the government. This is the second point. Third is responsiveness. Third, responsiveness. The whole paragraph you have to write. And last is accountability. See here, accountability. This is the fourth point. Fine. Means here accountability is a key. You have to start from here and you have to end with the answer rule of law. This is, I think this question will ask for the 6 marks or 10 marks. So the length of question is high, means we can say it's a lengthy question. So you have to write each and every point. So in 4 point you have to at least write 10 to 12 lines. Fine. So in this way we have completed the question and answers part, revision exercise part. If you have any doubt, you can comment me in comment box. Okay students, then bye bye. Take care. We'll meet in the next lecture. In the next lecture, I am going to start with the lesson number 6, which is the last part of our syllabus. Bye bye then. Take care everyone.